Okay, it's been about 10 more minutes. What I've got now is a nice pot of molten lead. All my copper and other debris is floating up to the surface. And I'm going to go ahead and maybe just one more minute or so, and we'll start pulling this out. Yeah, that's good. Now I'm going to start just by taking the loose stuff off the top. Give a little wiggle. Even though I washed the heck out of these things, I still see a lot of dirt floating to the top. You just can't get it all. But dirt, just like everything else, will float to the surface. There's a little bit more. Whew, that's getting hot. Lead in my spoon that I want to save, so I'll let that cool off a second. Hopefully I can save it. I know, kind of silly, but with lead being as hard to find as it is, every little bit helps. Okay, now I've got all the copper out. What I'm going to do now is I've got a piece of candle. It's just plain old white wax, an old candle. It's got some red coloring on the outside, but I'm going to break off about an inch of it or so. Bear with me a second here. And I got about an inch and a half or so chunk of wax, and I'm just going to toss it in. And this is going to melt down, and it's going to turn. It caught on fire on its own. I didn't even have to light it this time. That'll burn off pretty quickly. There we go. Give that just another moment, and then I'm going to slowly stir it in. That's one thing I haven't seen on the videos is when you drop this wax in, are you supposed to stir it thoroughly, just gently fold it? Not sure, so I'm just experimenting here as we go. And scrape the bottom of my pot. Lightly skim the top and get this last little bit of dross off. Well, you can see that. It's about just over an inch deep, inch and a half deep. Trying to skim it one more time, and then we'll move on to making our ingots. Alrighty. And there you have it. About 15 pounds, 15, maybe 16 pounds of range lead melted down. Alright, YouTube, there it is. Final product. I've got my ingots poured. They're cooling. They're going to take at least half an hour before I even bother to check to see if they're cool enough to flip out of there yet. That's pretty darn hot. And what I'll do afterwards, I'll just flip that pan over and tap them, and they'll pop right out of there. I love that muffin pan. It works really good for making ingots. Don't need to spend money on those Lyman molds or any other mold. These works just fine. So I got 12 ingots. Each one's going to probably weigh, I don't know, 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. I don't have a scale to weigh them, so I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I'll figure out a way to weigh them later. But I've got a good, I don't know, 20, maybe 20 pounds of lead there, ready to go. I'll be making another video in a little bit, showing you how I make my round balls. Take care.